Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Welcome to Furniture Success Podcast.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us today. To start, can you tell us about yourself and CubeWorld USA and the unique approach to your company brings to the commercial office furniture industry?
Right. So yeah, we at CubeWorld USA are exciting, innovative, disruptive sort of style company to the office furniture industry. And we do a lot of things that have never been done before. And we intermix different industries, different products, different brands, different cities, locations, states, and countries to make a unique experience for the customer, the dealer, the end user, the wholesaler, whoever is really working with us at the time. So we, like a lot of people, specialize in turnkey office furniture solutions, but we do everything from refurbishing and that whole aspect as well, from the cutting, the welding to the fabricating, and we do every single brand. So we don't just specialize in Herman Miller or Hayworth or Steelcase or Technion. Our guys are trained in expertise and master refurbishers at every brand where we turn, pre-owned as is stations to something that's really nice, refurbished and modern.
Mhm.
So intertwined with that, we have liquidations. So we're really big at turnkey liquidations as well. And we're
Mhm.
tearing down buildings all over the country from, US Bank, Warner Brothers, Qualcomm, all different kinds. And we're storing them in the various warehouses that we have throughout the country and as well as in Mexico. So
Mhm.
we have 15 warehouses. We have a Guadalajara headquarters, Manila, Philippines call center, and we're based out of California, primarily Orange County, California, and then Austin, Texas, and then now Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're expanding eastward to there, going to hit Florida as well. So
Wow.
our goal is, basically be the largest chain of pre-owned office furniture assets and turnkey solutions that there are and can be. And
Mhm.
I've made it my goal since 3 years ago. We were the smallest office furniture company in all of America, and now
Mhm.
we're the largest ever. And so, I started with a 10 chairs in 2022 beginning for CubeWorld, and it was after, being successful in the industry at many other companies and other things, but, life happens, divorce happens, things happen, people happen, kids happen, just shit happens, right?
Yeah.
Things changed for me for a minute, but that was just for a little bit. So I was able to multiply the chairs, 10 to 20, 20 to 50, 50 to 100. I used the chairs to get a steam cleaner, steam cleaned enough chairs with the guys to get a van. The van kept doing enough turns to get enough business for liquidation. Liquidation came in Fox Sports, then UPS right after that in downtown LA. We took them down,
Mhm.
the profits of that, created a small showroom in Westminster.
Mhm.
uh, when we were in Westminster, there was a Facebook building that was going to get bought by Amazon, and I just started a few months into the business, and I was liquidating 2 floors over there, and I was with Jeff Bezos Commercial Realtors, and we were basically there for acquisition of the building, and the negotiation was who's going to clear everything out for the building to be acquired for the next use. The long story
Mhm.
short, it was a bunch of really nice steel case furniture, and I liquidated it all and I pulled it out the building. I stored it in a little 2,000 square foot showroom stacked to the ceiling. It was like a storage warehouse. And
Mhm.
we basically pulled out of there, hand loaded, no equipment, no uh, lift gate, no nothing. Just stuck it all in there because we just started. We didn't have hardly any money. And all we had was a van and a website. And so then we sold a little for like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, Facebook's commercial realtors call us back, say, "Hey, the deal fell off with Zuckerberg, and we got another buyer for the building, but they want all the furniture installed back that you liquidated." So that
Mhm.
very same 2 weeks later, we sold them back, for $250,000, the same furniture we got through a
Wow.
better acquisition, and kicked off CubeWorld USA, and used that money to invest in a small warehouse in Stanton, California. And it idea grew from there, went from one warehouse to another. Cox Cable we liquidated, created another warehouse. Toyota we liquidated, created another warehouse. And we furnished SpaceX, created another warehouse. And so we designed, liquidated Microsoft, and then designed on YouTube video the 9/11
Mhm.
museum in New York. And I was able to take all the steel case, really nice high-end lounge seating, furniture, height adjustables, benching, ancillary, break room, tables, and reincorporate them and redesign them and save the 9/11 Museum of New York hundreds of thousands of dollars on their acquisition and provide an immediate turnkey solution that was all done over a YouTube video that I posted on our site.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I always just flipping, moving, creating, buying, selling, that we specialize on.
Yeah. Kevin, it's an amazing story, but if you don't mind, could you tell us more about your background? Like, it looks like you were ready for CubeWorld USA, at that time, and
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
ready to scale, but
Oh, yeah.
definitely you have a background, right?
Yeah,
So could you just talk a little bit about, how your background helped you because you scaled very fast?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do have a big background in business, not the biggest. Some of my mentors are 50, 70 years in business, but I've been in business now 23 years. I'm
Hmm.
34 years old. I started my business when I was 11 years old. And I was one of the first e-commerce guys ever on eBay buying and selling video games before PayPal was even a thing on there.
Wow.
So in way back when, let's see now, like 2002, I started e-commerce. But before then, even when I was 9 years old, I started on the internet. So I was 9 years old, and the year was 2000, and my stepdad was one of the co-founding programmers of GoDaddy, the one who built websites. And so
Hmm.
I learned at 9 years old how to build websites. And so I was coding and I was programming. I was back then it was .NET before .com, and we were using dial-up and servers and hosts and all types of different technologies, right? But
Hmm.
I learned how to build. And then so way back then I was innovated by, creation and creating something out of nothing and a proprietary brand that you could market and make money. So I would buy and sell kids video games in high school, and by the time I was 14, I had a store that was doing six figures a year on eBay, and my profit margins were like 60, 70%. And what I would do, all the kids that were around me were quite wealthy, and they basically had a lot of money to buy video games. So I would buy it for them like how we do with furniture on a traded in basis. And I'd say, I'd give you $10 to $15 a game, and we turn around and sell it $30, $45, still be a lot cheaper than the $60 a game brand new.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and we did well and created all types of things. And, then I graduated high school 2 years early, and I went straight to college at 16. And then you know, got a master's degree in psychology. I don't know why. So I think I was going to be a therapist, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the whole furniture thing started. So after I graduated college, I'd still done business. I'd done pharmaceuticals. I'd done real estate. I'd done insurance within these 10 years until I was in my 20s. And so I had many professional licenses and different things, but I was good friends with a very famous, well-known furniture dealer, one of the best known ever, and his name was Mark Steinberg, and the CEO of Cube King. So Cube King was everyone knows in California, East Coast, West Coast, anywhere on the old school people. And so he was one of the first original guys, along with Lalo and along with Abe Goldstein and along with all these old school people that been around since the 70s, 60s, some of them. And
Mhm.
so Mark Steinberg was a dear friend and a great, great mentor of mine. And for a year and a half, I was his personal therapist. And he had hired me to basically be his right hand and follow him all over the country doing furniture deals, liquidations, and business. And so I met a lot of great contacts through there. One of them was John Driscoll from Office Furniture Solutions and TradeIn.com. Became a
Mhm.
for mine as well and a competitor of mine eventually. And he retired and we ended on good terms. It was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, so I, always respect John for what you did and taught me. Respect Mark, and regardless what anyone has to say about anyone in the industry, the people who are trendsetters and have done it and are the pioneers. Those are the ones that really helped me and influenced me.
Mhm.
Carlos Pagan, he was one of the most old school. Whether he's Steve Jobs' right hand of sustainability at Apple, and he's my mentor and basically godfather in this business. So between
Mhm.
all these old school people, they basically passed me the crown to be the next one up. But,
Mhm.
the sad thing is Mark passed away of suicide. And it was really unfortunate. And so that's why I quit doing therapy. That's why I quit doing psychology, because I figured, some people unfortunately can't be helped unless they want to help themselves. But
Mhm.
rest in peace, Mark. When he died, he gave me his cell phone and he gave me his contacts. And he basically wanted me to carry on his legacy, as we had been partners in a previous company. Unfortunately, when he passed away, he could no longer carry it on. His son could no longer carry on Bravo Saver. So that's when my last company before CubeWorld was born. This was over a decade ago. And so my first run in office furniture took off and it went well, ups and downs. I became the largest stock dealer in the country in 2017, 2018. I had almost 1 million square feet stocked of furniture. So it was pretty massive and all in my 20s, And so within there, I'm learning logistics, I'm learning media, I'm learning marketing. I already know the websites, the building, the SEO, the campaigning. But now I built a dealer's network base. And then so
Mhm.
while I started liquidating a bunch of buildings, so I wanted to be the largest liquidator. And I just buy up all the buildings all over the country and then flip them or resell them or store them or recycle them, do whatever was best at the time. And so I liquidated in, every state, multiple countries, for very important people and sold to all kinds of people. So through that journey, it's now took me to the upper echelon of joint venture partnerships, of clientele, of franchisees, and of people working with us. It's now made CubeWorld not just me, running around anymore. It's now become a joint venture corporation with a bunch of people involved in a bunch of different capacities. So
Mhm.
it just evolves and evolves and evolves. There's so much to it.
Mhm. Yeah. And like, what challenges did you face in early stages? Like,
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that question.
yeah.
So there's a lot of challenges, right? So
Mhm.
there's going to be your biggest challenge is your haters, I would say, people trying to stop you, people trying to trifle you, trying to talk bad about you, people trying to steal deals, to do things, all kinds of things, right? Everyone has competitors in business. But it's a matter of how do you handle and deal with those competitors is
Yeah.
what I would say. So I don't see anyone as competition. I'm not saying that I'm the best. There's probably people better than me out there, but I would rather collaborate with you than compete with you.
Mhm.
It's the smart thing to do. Why am I going to try to lower my prices? You lower your prices. At the end of the day, we have less money when I could say, hey, I have a deal. You have a deal. Let's meet together, see where our client product can meet, and we're going to make money every single time. Right.
Mhm.
So in the beginning, it was just convincing other people and dealers that we're a reputable brand, that I'm still who I said I was. Because what happened to me prior in my company, although it was my fault who I hired, it wasn't my direct loss. It wasn't my direct mistake. It was other people made so many mistakes the company can no longer stand. So when I restructured the people around me, it just blew up like never before. So it obviously wasn't things I was doing wrong. I was having the wrong people around. Now, so that's twice. Now with the right people, I have a dude that was high up in the government that worked for me that transferred, another person that was really high up in hospitality, another person that was in the law, another person that was in HR, another person that was in the oil field. So I took a really diverse group of people this time that were not from the furniture industry, not even one of them. And I trained every single one of them myself to create CubeWorld USA, CubeWorld International, CubeWorld Mexico to the stage it is today. And so I instilled the values that I already saw in all of them, the hard work, the ethics, the showing up on time, the following through. And I basically just taught them a way to make more money than they were making before. And a whole bunch of people, we have over 100 associates within our company, are now joined in, plugged in, invested themselves, have locations themselves, have other countries they're running with us, government contracts, and a multitude of avenue of income and revenue. So that's
Mhm.
where we've expanded to logistics now. We have 53-foot trailer. We opened worldtransporter.com, another subsidiary of ours. We have outside people bring it to their fleet to add to our fleet. It's just a beautiful thing. We're getting into the LED, into the media as well. We have cubeworldmedia.com now. So we do
Mhm.
a whole plethora of things under media. And the media is going to market and advertise the furniture, which is going to push the idea of the liquidations, which is going to push the idea of sustainability, which is going to push the idea of contracts right back to the center of the media. I've tried to become immersed, not just in furniture, which I love. Of course, that's where my heart is. I love furniture so much. I have a cubicle tattooed on my back.
Wow.
Yeah, no one loves it more than me, for real. It saved my life, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I tattooed the logo there. I have my old logo tattooed here, and it's just die hard. So I'm super passionate about it. I love it. I live it. I breathe it. I go to every big convention, every big client I can, coast to coast. I handle. We've sold to the White House. We sold to the Mexican presidents. We sold to all kinds of people. So I love dealing with high-end clients, but I also, you know, stay humble and I stay real. So I'm not one of those furniture dudes that, oh, I can't take care of this person. I can't do that. Or then too insignificant. If I have the time, if I'm there in person, I give everyone the time of day. And so that's why I always tell people, never think you're too special because you're not. Someone will just replace you right away. And I got Mitsubishi Motors of North America just like that by being humble. And big account became $1 million account for a corporation.
Wow.
I was selling one Herman Miller Aeron chair. And
Mhm.
so I went into one of my showrooms, Westminster, it's not far from my house. And I buzzed this guy in. I wasn't there. And he's, oh, I really want to see his chair. What's this chair? And he says, I'm going to buy more. Would you mind coming down and explain to me some more about the chair? So I go down. It's a Sunday afternoon. No one wants to go. It's like 7 p.m. I have a lot of stuff to do and I'm tired, but I go down and I meet Reyes. And Reyes is a really nice guy. He had a kid. It was around Christmas time, and he says, "Man, my kid really need a chair. I can't really afford another Herman Miller Aeron chair for him, but I'm gonna come back and get one." And so, just to be kind, I had a cheap sit on a chair there, nice mesh though that I got for free. As it's Christmas. Here's the Aeron chair. Have it, $500. It's good to go, fully loaded.
Mhm.
And the sit on it chairs, take it for free. It's just take it because you just have it. But think of me when you guys need furniture, when you need stuff. Please give me a call because I do liquidations all the time, and that's our bread and butter business. Hell, yeah, of course, man, no problem, no problem. But who was Reyes? He was the head facilities manager of all Mitsubishi North America.
Wow.
At the time, Mitsubishi North America was already a huge presence in California, particularly in Orange County off Catella Avenue. They had like 20 buildings. And so Mitsubishi was then downsizing and moving their facilities out of the country and out of the state. So almost 2,500 cubicles of Herman Miller ethos space with a whole bunch of steel case leak chairs were up for liquidation. And Reyes was the first person he called. Kevin, I don't want to pay to get this stuff out of here. How about I just give everything to you in the building for free and you take it from me?
Mhm.
2,500 leap chairs and ethos space stations at no cost, and I sold every one of them. And I helped boost up our company, and with the profits of that, I bought another 26-foot international crew cab with a Cummins engine for our company. And
Mhm.
it's just been beautiful, the hard work, the dedication, the overcoming objections, and being from a really low place to going to where I'm going. I know it's possible. It's just you must never give up on yourself. You must never, ever quit in what you believe in.
Yeah, like over the years, as you mentioned, like the office furniture market has evolved drastically. And like, could you compare before COVID, during COVID, after COVID, and AI, tariffs, like their effects to your business?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let me tell you, before COVID, the market was completely different, right? COVID shook everything up. The design, the structure, the logistics, the prices, everything. So for us in the pre-owned market, and I sold new too for a long time and refurbished, it was pretty easy, I'd say, before COVID. It was very different. There was a lot of referral. It was a lot of word of mouth. It was a lot of in-person showrooms. It was a lot of walk-in. It was a lot of advertising,
Mhm.
location, things like that. It was centralized towards the old school way of doing business. And that was great. That's how I started doing business, was with fax machines and pagers and all that. But it's a different time. So I started seeing people dying out right when COVID hit. They could no longer sustain. So as you know, as many dealers know, when COVID hit, there was barely any work. You couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. Manufacturers weren't moving. Everything was stopped it was bad. So unless you had a huge stockpile of furniture, it was the only way you're gonna make money. And so, we had a lot of furniture in stock. So luckily, we sustained for quite a while until people stopped wanting to work and people stopped wanting to be righteous and ethical and try hard. It became a whole nother world. And so with that, we had the bad apples, and our company, old company that we had, fell apart actually. And I had to restart everything after COVID. Yes, because of my own is also no one wanted to do anything. It just changed the whole aspect there. I can't, I'm scared. I can't, we are not, all the excuses. And when you
Yeah.
have huge overhead and huge bills, millions of dollars of bills a year, how are you going to pay that if you don't have income coming in? It's impossible. So that's when you gotta, shut down or bankrupt or restructure and then open up another company and redo the business plan.
Yep.
So that's what I did. I studied during COVID, COVID was my homework, my learning time. And that's when I started implementing AI and technologies and access control and CCTV cameras everywhere and outside virtual assistants and no longer in-person assistants, fired all the receptionists, got rid of the employees, made everyone a subcontractor and an independent business owner. For us, completely switched the structure of our company. It went from a W-2 standardized business, corporation to now a LLC company, 1099 independent contractor, franchisee opportunity. So I'd say it evolved business, it evolved structure, it
You,
evolved.
you had more flexibilities, and you can easily downsize or
Oh,
grow your business if you need to, right?
yeah,
So yeah.
it's way better. So if I want to 15 locations, if I want to shut down 5 of them, then I could, but all I'd have to do is tell the person, hey, that we basically are going to give you this opportunity and take a smaller share so I don't have to carry all the burden. Before, if a building falls, if 5 building falls, all the liability was on me and I'd have to pay for every one of them.
Yeah.
So now since I have so much outside help and partners and people, that it's easier. And basically I could have other people help me to keep the idea alive even when I'm not here.
Wow.
So that's basically the idea, is to create more opportunity. And after COVID, um, it changed the way furniture and design and everything was sold and done and bought, and it changed the way people shopped. So I saw a huge increase in e-commerce shoppers to versus in-person walk-ins after COVID, right? So everyone just got used to go and buy Amazon, eBay, simple things, drop ship. And that's the way of life now. It really is. So no one wants to pay for a delivery. No one wants to wait for stuff. No one wants to talk to anyone. They want it automated. They want it simple. They want to see a picture, an idea, a price. They want it simplified. So I saw that coming clear as day. And I started innovating where most dealers didn't. And I'll give you, there are some that did innovate and survive and are booming right now. There's also a lot of dealers I know that are going out of business right now, more than ever. And they're calling me to sell their companies to me and all their assets. And I'm buying it for pennies on the dollar because they have nowhere to put it, nowhere to store it, and they only have a limited amount of time to get out of their warehouse. And if they don't, they're going to go bankrupt and they're going to have to pay to throw everything in the trash or metal recycler anyway. So it's crazy right now. You could acquire companies for pennies on the dollar and, stuff they've saved for 30 years, 40 years of equipment, of trucks, of trailers and saws and tools and Herman Miller and Steelcase. So, the market and the dealers is the best opportunity ever right now. But just, it's like a recession of furniture, basically. Cash is king. You have to have a good capital to be able to acquire these things. And you have to have a good marketing source, as you know, to distribute these things. Because it doesn't matter if you have the best stuff in the world. If you don't have the best website or the best sales team or the best marketing crew, you're going to end up drowning in all your stuff. And so that's what a lot of these old school dudes don't realize. And that's why they're going out of business. They're older ones of networking and referrals and word of mouth and banners and billboards. It's not the same as it used to be. Not saying it's not effective, because it can be very effective, but it's not like every single day people knocking on your door like when the yellow pages were around. So with AI, I've implemented that in all our locations. And something that worked for us is everything is appointment only. Every location. We have no people at any location. We're all full autonomous company. Well, I think one
Wow.
of the first furniture companies ever. And so I personally am implementing AI in every single way, and I'm not just talking like Chat GPT or OpenAI or anything like that.
Mm.
Really integrating app access control, push button notifications, cameras is integrated to the cell phone, notifying you when someone's at your door, walking you through your surround sound QSC speakers through each location, speaking to the client virtually and watching them through the cameras, explain each room and each location from anywhere in the world. That's what I specialize in. And so what does that do when you do all of that? It takes away all the overhead. It takes away all the workers' comp. It takes away the stress of dealing with people every day and having to run a showroom. Then you just have to put one point person to answer the phone who's pretty good and efficient with furniture and has a vast array of knowledge. That person could then delegate it to a lower entry level person or keep, if it's important contract, hold on to it and keep the call to themselves. So I've been able to divvy up opportunity like never before while creating more opportunity for my business by not having to be there. And with that extra time, I've been going state to state to country to country to country, opening locations. And
Oh,
people love the idea. They love, the profit margins, and they love the selection. We have a huge selection and we're not greedy. We're happy to help you make money in furniture. If you said, hey, I got some of these 50 cubes, what's my cost? We'll say, all right, we'll make sure there's $200 a cube for you in every single cube. Bring the deal to CubeWorld and let's work it together. So you and I would collaborate with your client, help close the deal. 200 times 50, have a nice day. There's a $10,000 profit for you just off 50 cubes. And you didn't do anything but connect the client and save the deal. So
wow.
that's a beautiful thing, because
Yeah, it's very efficient. Yeah.
because a lot of these dealers have tons of clients, more than we do. They've been in business a long time, but we have more furniture. So if you have the client, we have the furniture, it only makes sense. Let's meet somewhere in the middle. We don't lose the deal. We'll make the deal and make sure you make money, we make money, we're all happy, and client saves a lot of money,
Mhm.
and I put this out there and I challenge any dealer in the country. We're the cheapest nationwide furniture company in the United States of America. And I'll always hold to that. We sell steel case Amiya chairs for $199. Herman Miller Aeron start at $399 retail, we're talking. So
Yeah.
it's, we sell cubes at $299 to $999, fully refurbished cubes, depending on what kind. And so we want to offer these competitive prices so you guys can make too. We
Yeah.
understand, yeah, everyone has to have a margin. Everyone needs to feel good for the deal. So as long as we're making a fair profit and we could afford it, we'll do the deal. We're not really to just throw everything away. Sure, we know the value of things.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
Yeah.
we're happy to. Like I just sold US Bank Tower in downtown LA. Every single Aeron in there got sold for $300. Now that's
Mhm.
cheap, but I sold the whole building to Mumbai, India. The dude came with a 53-foot trailer. We loaded it, took it to the dock, crossed in his containers, started shipping the Aerons to Mumbai, and you hold them for double what he bought them from us over here. He paid the tariff and the shipping, and he made out and made tons of money. So all off a phone call. So,
Mhm.
when we could sell 1,000 chairs at a time. It's better for us, but easier for me than selling 1, 2, 5, 10, or 20. So I'm always open for opportunity. If there's a good deal, we'll definitely do it.
Mhm. Mhm. How about tariffs, Kevin? Like,
Oh, I hate those stairs, man. That thing's terrible. That's a nightmare what's going on with those things. But I'm affected super bad. So it's okay though, because it'll all balance out and I'm finding ways to circumvent and navigate that, which are difficult, but I'm finding ways. So
Mhm.
I am do business in Mexico, particularly Guadalajara, Mexico, and the state of Jalisco. And so in Guadalajara, I sent 53-foot trailer down. It gets stuck at the border. Now the trailer gets held hostage. This is right when the tariff war, and still to this day, my trailer is there for almost 2 months now. And it's gonna have to be crossed. Like this week is the final week. We finally got the tariff down in the proper amount. So they were messing with us, and they gave us a tariff of like 125%. when all this stuff was happening with China and this and that, even though we're going to Mexico, they're warring with the Mexican import border people, brokers, and all that. And there's a lot of animosity. So they make things up and they say, this is steel, this aluminum, this is plastic, this is wood. So they go by materials. And then on the materials, they put a percentage to it. And it doesn't matter what your percentage is, it matters what their percentage is. So if a
Mhm.
cubicle is 40% steel, 20% laminate, some aluminum and some fabric, they say just to get you on the highest one, it's all 90% steel, 5% aluminum, and all the rest fabric. And so they hit you with the highest material based on whatever they think they could write down, and they get you good. So my tariff went from being $7,000 to $21,000.
Wow.
Couldn't freaking believe it. So I had a freaking heart attack, not over the price, but just over being robbed, over the fraud, over the tariff that's going to no one, not the people inspecting it, but they're so pissed at the Americans. And the Americans are doing it to the Mexicans too. I think it goes both ways. And they're just nickel, dime, nickel, dime, nickel, dime, so no one's making no money anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, this is stupid. So I told them, you know what, we're not passing the trailer. I said, hold it. So we stopped the trailer like a month ago, put it into storage at $200 a day. They're a rip off too. So 200 times 30, I paid $6,000 last month in storage for 153-foot trailer stuck at the border. But now with the new laws and tariffs and things changed again since, a month and a half ago, they brought down my tariffs all the way down to $7,500. You figure, right? You figure
Yeah.
21,000. So even it sucks, but 7,500 plus 6,000 or 13,500, still $7,500 cheaper than the first tariffs. So it sucked. I shouldn't even had to pay the 6,000, but I was stuck there and I commandeered the trailer. I had to pay for it. So it's a very bad situation, the climate at the border. It's even worse at the port. Go to the port of Long Beach. It's even a whole other stories over there I could tell you. But the
Mhm.
tariff that I deal with in Mexico, they're getting better. They're gonna get better. But what a nightmare, man. It's affecting furniture on a massive scale. Because a lot of furniture, as you know, Steelcase makes all their furniture Reynosa, Mexico. So all of that's imported. So Steelcase must be feeling it 10 times what I'm feeling. And that's gonna affect the manufacturers, affect the designers, affect the distributors, and the price
Mhm.
keeps skyrocketing and going up. But what's really good about these tariffs, what no one's talking about, it's a wonderful thing too. That's why I'm not like mixed emotion, because it's screwing me on the export, but it's great for United States as is pre-owned goods. So
Mhm.
as the tariffs have come in, we've seen like a 50% increase in orders in business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I'm losing gear from new prices went up, our pre-owned, also the prices went up by like 10%, and our sales is nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. People are calling. Yeah.
Yeah, like a roller coaster, it's going up, and yeah.
Win here, lose here, but ideally you keep winning,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I always tell people it's just a minor setback for a major comeback. And so that's what every single setback is, and we come back even stronger and harder, perpetually pushing forward on every deal.
Mhm. Wow. So, let's talk about a little bit sustainability. It's a key factor for many consumers today. And how does CubeWorld integrate sustainability in your designs, or how important is it to your customers?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So check this out. Sustainability to me is one of the most important things in the world. It's what I base my career around, my business
Mhm.
around, our mission every day, and I'm obsessed with saving things. So I would say I'm so obsessed with it that I see it on such a big scale that I
Mhm.
think all the commercial buildings in the United States of America that we're tearing down and are going to landfills every day and being recycled for raw materials, I think this furniture could be repurposed. Not all of them, but a big majority of them, if we have
Mhm.
an avenue to redistribute it and save it for sustainability. So now I've gone around the world giving big speeches on sustainability. And what I've been able to do is speak in front of the Mexican government, including the governor of Jalisco and President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico. And I've been able
Mhm.
to tell the government and and Parliament of Mexico, as well with a bunch of other people underneath them, that my goal and mission of sustainability for the United States of America, representing CubeWorld USA and now CubeWorld International, and now being a Mexican businessman as well, having CubeWorld Mexico, I want to bridge the gap of sustainability between all the pre-owned corporate and government assets that are being improperly disposed of and ship them with our logistics company and partners to the impoverished third world country of Mexico and help them rebuild the infrastructure for their schools, for their colleges, for their government buildings, even for their business and tech. If you go down there and see the type of furniture and the quality they have, it's a disgrace. You know what Taiwan and China ship down there is complete trash, and they charge them 10 times what I would charge for pre-owned furniture. So in turn, like doing this, each cubicle there's 3,000 to 5,000 a cubicle for trash, Chinese cubicles, worse than Freon. And so Herman Miller would be 10,000, 15,000 a cubicle in Mexico. So I would be off like cubicles refurbished for $1,000 to $2,000 each in Mexico. Herman Miller, American made, steel case, Hayworth, Technia, top brands. And
Mhm.
delivering it to Mexico and empowering their economy and giving hundreds of jobs to refurbish all of our assets and thousands of jobs to redistribute them and install them all over the country of Mexico. And then once that idea works, the startup there, the idea is to use Mexico as a pioneer hub of sustainability for all of Latin America. And I've partnered up with a great guy named Marco Tardelli, who's the right hand of Enrique Michel de la Rosa of the Mazatlan Candy Fortune, Billionaire company, Billionaire people, master of distribution, 100 countries on the earth. And he says, this goes well for us in Latin America and Mexico takes off. I'm going to have you in 20 more countries. And we're going to go from there. And as much credit you could ever liquidate or tear down, we will sustain all through America and redistribute the whole United States for
Yeah, there's a huge opportunity over there. Yeah. Wow.
you. Huge. It gets no bigger, the sustainability. I was met 100 trailers, 1,000 trailers, whatever you could,
Uh-huh.
we will make it land and they'll be happy to take it and we'll turn it into some profit. So anyone you know or we know or you talk to in the industry that needs help in Mexico, wants to move, liquidate, install, store, happy to discuss business opportunities with you. We're about to go in Aguas Calientes, Mexico with Rodney Bach from Seattle, very well-known dealer, R&B Designs. And he wants to buy furniture from us, store it, and have us ship it, bring it across the border, store it in
Mhm.
our Guadalajara warehouse, then ship it and install it in Aguas Calientes for his client turnkey. And we're going to provide all those services for him. He provides the furniture selection and the design, and we provide all execution of the contract. So that's what I want to specialize in and do for people is help them reach new heights, new goals further than they
Mhm.
ever have and change their model as well to increase their profit margins from deals that would have never been had we have never communicated.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah. And what do you think are some of the biggest challenges in the commercial office furniture industry today, and how does CubeWorld address them?
I'd say the biggest challenges right now are legalities,
Mhm.
inflation, regulation, taxation. Those four things are really bad for business, especially furniture. So, California makes it almost impossible these days to have a furniture company. I mean, you can't go over 12 feet high on your racks. I mean, are you gonna store furniture? You can't go over 12 feet high. And so everyone, has to put things up. They come down, give you a ticket, take it all down, then put it back up. And you're just messing with them and the fire department and then the sprinklers and then the clean carb air efficiency. Then they stop all your trucks in California if you don't do a test every 6 months and pay 3 different fees and registrations to different organizations. And then the workers' comp, it just is through the roof. I don't know too many people who could afford workers' comp for furniture liquidations in California. So
Mhm.
that alone, especially with a lot of guys, has eliminated a lot of the people, along with the commercial truck insurance, with the trailers and the bobtails and the COIs. That has become absorbently expensive, along with the leases. The amount, if you don't own a building right now, you're screwed. And so the lease rents are just skyrocketing and the vacancies are skyrocketing because no one can afford them. So it's just a sad, sad thing what's happening to commercial real estate, right? It's a big challenge. But
Mhm.
every great tragedy comes great opportunity. And so with the tragedy of everything that's going on, I see huge
Mhm.
opportunity for liquidation, huge opportunity for relocation, huge opportunity for recycle, huge opportunity for logistics. Yeah, maybe we're not selling how we used to back in the 2000s, but you could still make, if not more money now, because there's more movement than back then. It's just in a different form now.
I see. Yeah. Wow.
We just got to look at it from all angles.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
oh, oh, man. That's a good one. In furniture business, we'll stick to that because there's a lot of places I see myself in 5 years. But in the
Mhm,
furniture empire that I'm, created, I see us as being the world leader of sustainability, the world
mhm,
leader of liquidations, and the world leader of distribution of pre-owned furniture and assets of all brands and styles. So I'm building a network of people and dealers and warehouses and billionaires and millionaires like no one's ever seen before. And, I'm gonna make this the CubeWorld empire is what it's coming to. It's not just gonna be furniture. We're gonna do a full interactive commercial interior turnkey. So
mhm,
we're test piling that in Vegas now. We're doing collab spaces. We're doing renting. We're doing events. We're doing equipment rentals. We're doing logistics. We're doing storage. We're doing distribution. We're doing 3PL. We're doing all types of businesses, all aside from just the furniture, not even including the furniture. What we're doing, and in the furniture, we're doing every single thing you could possibly do. There's not one thing our company cannot do that a furniture company can typically. Besides CNC custom milling, that'd be the only thing, or manufacturing raw materials, which we don't want to get into that. We have outsourced people for that in other countries and other manufacturers. We want to be the best custom, the best refurb, the best high end corporate assets of A1 brand that people recognize, and not just cubicles. So we do ergonomic chairs, break rooms, and specialize in phone booths, and not to mention acquisitions. But we want to be the largest acquirer of office furniture in the country as well. And anyone, could come to the table on that. We're willing to take in 10,000, 20,000 stations a month if need be. We could do 100 trailers a month if need be. We could shoot to make profits. We could ship to dub for you. We're happy to be involved in whatever capacity our company is able to handle. And we have a lot of people very hungry, chomping at the bit to make those acquisitions, sales, and mergers with other companies, with other clients, and these with other governments. So we got into the furniture rental business. We're competing with Court Furniture, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway company. And so Warren Buffett has it down. He's a genius. My hat's off to him. He rents furniture to his own companies, get for a huge amount, creates huge profits for Court, and then gets a tax write-off for the depreciation of the assets when he buys them back or gets rid of them. So it's a genius method, especially
mhm.
our tax liabilities. You got to create other corporations to help each other survive. And so that's the next step. We're getting into the rentals, we're getting into the collaborative co-working spaces, and also art galleries. We do art galleries as well. So I acquired thousands of pieces of art for our company that we display throughout all our locations on our website. And they're nice. They're high-end commercial art, the movie original prints from Warner Brothers, to abstract pieces from boutique places from Newport Beach, the high-end US Bank of his historical pieces from the tower in LA. So
Mhm.
we're offering also artists to host their pieces of art in our showrooms and put a price to it on a consignment basis should their art pass our quality inspection. And if it does, then we as well collaborate with artists. In turn, with the artists, we host events. In the events, we show the furniture. Within the furniture, we show the media and the music and the LED wall. So we're creating the first ever fully interactive office furniture,
Wow.
event space, showroom, art gallery, and studio for people to
Mhm.
collaborate and create. So if you and I wanted to meet in Huntington Beach, which we will, and we'll do a follow up on my podcast episode over there.
Yeah.
And you'll see. And we could do a podcast. We can go make music. We could design
Mhm.
furniture. We could pick fabrics. We could go to the warehouse and do wholesale. It's all a nice co-working intermixed use space to basically be as creative as you can be. And for me, I consider myself an artist of many forms, not just one. So I love creativity. I love bringing ideas to light, and I love making things happen. So that's what my goal and future of Cube World is going to be.
Yeah. It's very unique approach, like, and like, can you tell us more about Coop World Media and how it ties into your business and
But
how did that idea come about? Like, it's very unique.
yeah, yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, so Cube World Media is my little favorite baby passion project. It's like a incubator that's hatching and now it's crawling. It's just me walking and then flying, hopefully. Um,
Mhm.
I just love it, right? So you have to be passionate about your business. You have to be passionate about what you do. If you don't like it, you shouldn't even do it. So I do it for free. I don't go and expect, make a bunch of money. It's going to blow up, even though I'm sure it will. I'm going in because I love it. So I love music. I love raves, particularly electronic music and EDM. So I've been in the electronic music scene for a long time now, over 2 decades since I was super young. Been heavily involved with it and the people and the events and the play all over the world. I've traveled every month to go to festivals and network and do things. So
Mhm.
I was spending a lot of money to do that, and which is great. But eventually I said, wow, these media guys make more money than furniture guys. You know, it's great and all to be a furniture genius. We'll all be millionaires, but it's really hard to make a couple 100 million in furniture. It's very hard. Sure you 10 million, 20, but it's hard to get up to the hundreds, even billion. So my mentors are billionaires. Al Kashani, where I'm at right now in Houston, we're about to go do some business. Billionaire Enrique, billionaire, other dudes work for me. So I see what they had to do to get to that level to be a billionaire. They didn't just own one company or what few corporations or a few. No, they had multiple companies, multiple enterprises, but not just random ones. They were all strategically placed and invented to collaborate and co-support each other. So
Mhm.
you have a logistics company, it moves your furniture routes. If you have a furniture company, Cube World Media markets your furniture. Once you market the furniture, you get a client. Cube World Media gets a client for event space, and then it goes back to that event client and gives it a logistics contract. So you come full circle. So full circle. So I started
Yeah.
learning full circle. And once I saw that, I said, man, I haven't done enough. I thought it was enough with like, I think at the time I had 5 warehouses. I was like, I'm doing good, man. I had 5 warehouses. But no, it wasn't even close to enough to become to the level that I could imagine this company's potential and mine career to be. So
Mhm.
that's when I realized, we need to invest more and we need to work longer. And so we went from 10-hour days to 16-hour days for everybody. We went from 5 days a week to 6, 7 days a week for everybody. And we cranked up the volume. And I told everyone, if you want a piece of the pie, now is your chance. Save up your money that you're going to make, and I'm going to give you a chance to invest in your own corporation. So then our own
Mhm.
former employees turned out contractors and now independent, took their own money they saved and invested, and they all got a piece of the corporation to do different things. And now it became a
Mhm.
collective almost of skilled people and professionals that could do any job turnkey across the country. So I'd say that really has been, what differentiated us from the way the upper people have done it. And
Mhm.
world media is feeding all that like a food source, or imagine like putting oil to a flame and the oil just keeps coming, the flame keeps igniting. The minute you pull off the oil, the flame go out. So we like to keep pouring it on there and ensuring that it stays active, exciting, and on fire. So that way we create the attention to give what all the other companies need to not just survive, but to thrive.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah, that's great. Right. And they all those components they support each other,
Yeah,
and
it's like a
it
wave.
creates momentum for you. Yeah.
There it is. You know all about momentum. You're in
Yeah.
marketing. This the more momentum you have, you cannot let it go. You have to let that fire with you at all times and engulf yourself within it and immerse yourself in the fire. And if
Yeah.
you don't, the flame gets put out quick and someone else gets it. And it's very hard to get back. Very hard.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I know I've lost momentum and to get it back was struggle. But once you have it, I've had it for some time now and don't let it go. And you keep building and you inspire someone, you motivate someone, you put this person on fire, you give that person a lift, give this person opportunity. All of a sudden, you have more and more and more momentum. The
Yeah.
secret is just not being greedy and sharing it with people, you know, sharing it. That's
That's
why
true.
I'm happy to give this knowledge to other dealers. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to talk to you, do deals, and grow because the more knowledge I give, the more experience, the real life I've done and have and seen and succeeded, the more it's going to benefit other people, which means in turn, the more it's going to benefit me because knowledge is power. If I'm helping you, help me, help you, and then
Mhm.
we're both winning. But if I never talk to you and never come on, never try, how am I ever going to know if we could have won? You know?
Yeah,
So, yeah, I'm
that's
big
true.
on all that.
Yeah.
So,
And what are some of the most important lessons you have learned as a business owner? And, what advice would you give someone to others in the furniture industry specifically?
I would say the biggest lesson I learned about being a business owner is be careful who you trust. Be careful who you trust.
Wow.
That's everything, man. You you're only as good as the people around you. And you could be the
Mhm.
best businessman, best person ever, but if you trust the wrong people, they will ruin everything for you. Could
Mhm.
end up destroying your business, if not you, your family, and even killing you if it goes so bad, as I've seen with my own mentor who died from suicide from this business. And so it could kill you, man, or it could make you. It could make you on top of the world. It can make you a philanthropist. Like now, I'm a huge proponent of prison reform. And also, we're going to, our plan for the company is to open an exotic animal sanctuary for neglected animals. So, we're doing so many great things now with our company that we're changing people's lives and helping people that wouldn't have a voice or a chance without us. So,
Mhm.
I'd say that's the best thing about business, the opportunity to create. The worst thing is the danger of it. But just like
Mhm.
anything else, you'll never have the opportunity to do in business anywhere else. It's the one thing you could change the world and change your life and everyone you love really quickly.
Wow. And you have mentors, like how did you pick your mentors, or like it's like coincidence, or like were you looking actively
No,
looking for mentors like
I never look for no one. They just appear. And so, yeah, I just work really hard and I put myself in really good positions and places to meet really important people. And
Mhm.
I'm very strategic in who I speak to and how I move and what I do. So luckily too, I ran into these people and I realized my opportunity. And
Mhm.
as soon as I saw them, we clicked and I told them what I do and they approached me and wanted to mentor me. And they said, you know what? I think it'd be great if we'd be partners. And they weren't just mentors of mine. Remember that. I never really had a mentor. Everyone was my business partner. I just call them
Mhm.
out of respect because they're older than me. But I was
Mhm.
joint venture partners with these billionaires and still am. And Mark and everyone else. So and John and everyone. So
Mhm.
been partners with all the greatest businessmen, in my opinion, in the whole furniture industry ever. And
Mhm.
I've venture partners with billionaires who own 50 different companies who are very well known and respected. So
Mhm.
people I associate with and learn and work with and get ideas and brainstorm and create with, in my opinion, they're the world leaders of furniture and business. And
Mhm.
that's all I associate myself with and nothing less.
Mhm. Mhm. And how do you approach to those JVs, joint ventures, like your partnerships?
They're all different. So I tell people, look, you could either invest and you'll get 25% of the net profits of the joint venture
Mhm.
partnership, or you invest and work 50-50 with us and take some liability of storage,
Mhm.
of marketing, of overhead, and you get 50% of the joint venture. So we give people that were on a sales commission 10%, 20% commission. We give them 50% when they bring us deals. Why would
Mhm. Mhm.
commission ever again, you know? They make
Yeah.
tremendous more with those. Yeah, we're not greedy. We'll let you win as much as you wanna work. That's what I tell people. "You wanna work? I got a lot of work for
Mhm.
you. You just gotta show up every day, that's it."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one right JV can take your business to the next level, like next day, like
Yeah,
this.
they say you have a couple 100 grand
Y-
tomorrow. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
done it times with a lot of people, many times, yeah, and sometimes $1,000,000 if you really hit a big one. Yeah.
Mhm. Uh, yeah. Know who you trust, right? That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, great advice.
Yeah.
And lastly, like what keeps you inspired and motivated in both your business, your personal life?
Oh, man, I'm the the definition of motivation. So I would say retribution. Retribution gives me more motivation than anything. So the sweetest feeling in the world to me is success. And the
Mhm.
best revenge ever is success. So rather than hurting people or thinking bad or negative or being unmotivated or depressed or sad or anxiety, show people and use that to be your reason for success. So I use my failures in my life, my setbacks, my comebacks. I use all that as motivation for success. You know,
Mhm.
when people said you can't, you're down, you're out, you ain't coming back. Mark died, committed suicide, other mentor retired, this ex-wife divorced you, this person stole from you, this person tried to kill you, this happened to you, this person sued you. So much shit happened to me in life. It's fucking unbelievable. A lot of people know the story if you look me up. But,
Mhm.
it's fucking crazy. So all this stuff happened to me, and at the end of the day, I come out smiling every day. I wake up every morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, no matter where I'm at, and I work till 12 o'clock at night every single day. And I try my best, I risk it all, and I believe in myself. So if I fail, all eyes are on me at this point. It's 100% my fault. So my motivation every day is to not fail and to prove all those people wrong who doubted me ever since the beginning. Since I was a kid, they doubted me. But doing business at 11 years old is hard. So I've always been the youngest guy in the room. I've always been the youngest CEO. But I know
Mhm.
what I'm capable of. I know now I'm vetted. I have experience now. I've learned from my mistakes and I've grown a lot. So with
Mhm.
that motivation is just to never fail and also to provide opportunities for all those people that never had a chance, for all those people that were convicted wrongly, for all those people that had a felony and wouldn't get hired, for those people that were discriminated racially and couldn't get a job, for the immigrants with accents who were not hired over other people just because the way they talk, even though they're a lot better than. So I understand this, you know, coming from an immigrant family, I speak
Mhm.
Spanish, I communicate other languages and nations, and it's really difficult for certain people, say, who don't look like me, who don't come from California, LA, and have the backing I have. It's a struggle, man, and they don't have the same opportunity. But at Cube World USA, yes, they do. So over here, we empower people. I mean, my right-hand guy is an immigrant from Russia, and he's out to make $1 million his second year in business, you know? My
Mhm.
other person is from the tech industry, has never even sold furniture, but has invested and made so much money investing that he's switching industries from tech to furniture. My other person's in construction. They don't even do anything, but they have so many contacts and people they've done that they give huge liquidations to us to make money through construction contracts. So we're happy to work with people in various places, countries, nations, cultures in ways that no one has before and break sort of
Mhm.
that glass ceiling of standardized corporate American suit tie furniture that's been around forever. And I want to disrupt that so other people from all over the world could be a part of this great American furniture dream and they too can fulfill their dreams with our company as well.
Mhm. Mhm. Wow, that's great, man. Like it was an amazing, episode, and I really like the way you explain your story, and and you did great job, and you have a great potential, Kevin. Like I feel it. I feel you. Like it's like you are like reflection of my, you know, inside world. Like, and I feel you, man. Like you are a true, hustler, and
Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate
yeah, an entrepreneur. So like, uh, what is the best way to reach out to you, Kevin? Like for any kinds of partnerships or like,
it.
for our listeners.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. So,
Mhm.
you guys can always reach us at our email info at
Mhm.
cubeworldusa.com. Also,
Mhm.
all of our socials are mainly at cubeworldusa.com. On our
Mhm.
website has all the socials, YouTube videos, blogs, all that. And then if you need to reach me directly as well, you could reach me. I'm gonna put my number so you could text this my business phone,
Mhm.
949-573-6982. Yeah, 949-573-6982. I
Mhm.
hardly ever answer because I'm always flying or doing something or busy, but a text, I always answer very fast. So, yeah, text me, call, email, whatever you could do. As long as I'm available, happy to support you, your listeners, other dealers, other companies, and, we're
Mhm.
here to make sure. not just us, but everyone wins every time.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, and hopefully I'll be your guest on your podcast, and
I love to.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna see each other in person. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah,
Well,
thank you, Kevin. Thank you for participating in Furniture Success Podcast, and thank you for sharing everything honestly. You know, and you are very open to others, and that's great. Thank you, Kevin.
I appreciate you so much. You have a great day, and I wish very well for your podcast, and I'll be supporting it as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.